Oh yeah, I got a Magusto Mucho Burrito Bowl. Mucho Gusto. There we go. That's the name. Me Gusto. I like that. That was good. That was good. I made a good natural mistake there instead of like mixing a couple languages. Yeah, Gusto. No, something like that would be hilarious. Oh my god. I kind of wish that there was something that could make you like a Mandarin person answer the phone at a variety of different American eateries just to hear how it would sound if you had to use Mandarin, like those sounds and those tones. But anyway, so I was actually thinking of a really good example of how there's like a claim by the left about the right that's really crazy. And it's the sort of this idea of the hatred of the immigrant that has always come from the right. When really, I mean, that's just simply not true. Somebody might be able to cite how the Know Nothing Party or something like that had some affiliation with Republicans, but I'm just doubting that. I'm just too doubtful of that. But I'd have to look into that. I'd have to actually find some articles and essays about that period of time. Because I always hear that it's, oh well, that's their natural evolution was into the present day Republicans. The thing is though, when you start to look into the Republican Party, you start to actually find that there's a very large portion that they would absolutely be people who would be considered a very recent American immigration. Only within maybe about 3 generations or 4 generations. And the whole idea is that they would have experienced America having a tremendous amount of orderliness and politeness. And what they've seen over the next few generations after World War II or into World War II and beyond is America descend into a country that's not polite and is not orderly. And this is one of these many things, like, you don't know what makes the right wing tick. You really, really, really don't get it. Like, these people are looking at neighborhoods that every single person in the neighborhood knew each other. And most people at some point spent time over at each other's houses. They have these vivid memories of families and kids playing around in the neighborhood. And they would have had then an intact cultural memory of seeing, like, South Boston change drastically. And so this is why now a lot of people on the left, like, and so that's why for somebody like me growing up in San Francisco, there were a lot of people who lived there that they were from the town. So there was a behavior pattern by some people of ownership of their neighborhood. There were certain neighborhoods that these guys didn't speak Spanish anymore. Like, that's kind of the famous thing about the gangs of especially San Francisco. The norteños notoriously were not necessarily very good at Spanish anymore because they were so long descended norteños. And so these people, some of them went back before it was a state. So, these would have been people that would have considered themselves New Spaniards at some point in descent. But not knowing that, you wouldn't understand, the entire Californian Hispanic gang culture. Without knowing that, you can't understand it at all. You have to know that little minute piece of information about it, the detail. Without knowing that, you can't. And other details of exactly where was 13th and where was 14th Street. Like, what are they talking about? So yeah, this is, yeah. I'm really rolling this one around in my mind. Yeah. All right. Talk to you guys later.